Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our show. Today's show, pre-market hot stocks for the day, where we are going to the biggest names that we have on the watch list, trying to build a trading plan, especially when we are going to a Fed week. We are going to hear from Fed on Wednesday. That can be a game changer. So I have some names that are possibly calling for a move here on the market. So also making an update on some of the names that we have been trading and trying to help you the best way I can. So let's move into those charts and trying to make an update on some of the names. Starting with AMD, this is one name that I have on the watch list because lots of our traders want to have an update and always every single day requesting an update on this, because AMD it's one of those names that usually sees lots of bullish options activity. We have been playing AMD in the past, and it's one of those names that I receive lots of requests to have it on the watch list. So I have it. I don't have any position on AMD. It's one of those names that I like in the past. We have been trading in the past. We traded here while we were on the $49, $59 range. We traded several times. On the break higher, I missed this day one, but I was able to generate some very nice cash flow on the days ahead. So it was a beautiful move on the break from the 59 all the way into $94. And right now where we stand, we are on the pullback with the rest of the market, and AMD it's pulling back with the rest of the tech names. So we are below the 8 and 21 day moving average. So that's actually bearish on the short term, but we are still above the 50-day moving average. So while we are above $73, we cannot have a big bear case scenario here. I believe that things will get very, very tricky if price goes below the $73. We start entering the gap that we have to fill, this gap here that we have to fill all the way into 69.8 for the gap to get filled. If we break below $73, then we enter the gap, and we'll be looking for $4 downside here, all the way $5 downside, all the way into $69 area. But once again, we need to see it. We are above the 50-day moving average. So on the mid-long term, it's holding the bull case, but on the short term, we are below the 8 and 21-day moving average. So we are actually in the middle of nowhere, big fight. On the short term, bears and shorts able to keep price below the 8 and 21, so shorts are active, but the bulls, the mid long term bulls, are buying the dip against 50-day moving average. So what we can have here some consolidation before triggering a move one way or the other. So bulls needs above 83.5. I'll be bullish on the stock above 83.5. I'll be bearish on the stock below $73 for a gap to fill all the way into 69. So right now I'm waiting, no position here, waiting. Breaks below 73 or 73.9, be looking for a gap to fill it all the way into 69. Breaks above 83.5, I'll be looking for longs recovering the $90 target. So right now it's a patience game, no position here. Boeing, saw on Friday, I had this to the watch list because on Friday I saw some very bullish options activity here on Boeing. With the stock also trying to make a reversal buy from 156 lows. So what I want to see, we can have a bounce as we saw here on August. So what I'll be looking, if 156 Friday lows hold, I'll be looking, and if price goes above 161.4, that's Friday highs, I'll be looking for 164, 168, 172 will be the biggest levels ahead. So I'm looking for possible day one on Friday. And if we go above 161.4, looking for possible 164.8, 168, 172 can be the next big levels ahead for buying. So let's see if this week, if 156 Friday lows hold, if 156 holds, looking for 1, 2, 3 days bounce up here on Boeing. If it breaks below 156, then big ugly action can happen with the stock breakdown. But once again, it's one of the names that I'm looking for. If it breaks above Friday highs, looking for some 1, 2, 3 days bounce on the next couple of sessions. Alibaba. Also trying to hold here a possible bull case scenario while we are above 265, 266, okay? But we need a trigger for the longs. The trigger for the longs, in my opinion, is $280. So it's one of those names that I have on my watch. If it breaks above 280, it's a long. Breaks below 265, we have 261, breaks below 261, big bad things happen with the stock breaking down. So keep it on your watch. Another one that I have on watch, Citigroup, is getting tight. The range is getting very, very tight here, waiting for a move one way or the other. The oscillator gave a bear cross, so not very exciting action here. But if price breaks above 54, that's the trigger for the longs. Above 54, trigger for the shorts below 49. So keep it on your watch. The range is getting tight, and I'm looking for a break one way or the other. Breaks below 49 is a short with two hands. Breaks above 54 can be a long. DraftKings, very nice action last week. It was one of the names that I had on the watch list that I talk on the odd stocks, and I said that while above $34, we'll be looking for a long and for a move into the $40 area. And we had the 34 held very well, and we get a move all the way into the $44 area. So now what? Now we need price above 44.8 to try a move all the way into the $50 area. Supports 39.6, the 8-day moving average, 37.8, breaks below, we have $35, $36 as the next support. So I don't have any position here, but if it breaks above 44.8, looking for a possible resume all the way into the $48, $50 area. Doku sign, I had this stock to the watch list because I saw some bullish options activity and some deep buyers trying to catch the knife. I don't like the technical here on the stock. The stock is below the 821 and 50-day moving average. We have a big support line around $180. Not sure if it's going to get there. I head to the watch list, and my bull trigger is only above 218. Okay, I will only be bullish on the stock above 218. If the stock continues the pullback, it can go all the way into $180 and from there reverse back up. It's something that I'll be looking. I had it to the watch list. Bull case only above 218. I'm not catching the knife here. I don't like to catch the knife. Careful catching the knife. But I had it to the watch list in case it reverses back up. Gold, it's also coiling, and it's one of those names that I have on the watch list. It's above the 50-day moving average. The range is getting tight. Breaks above 185 can trigger a long. Breaks below 179 can trigger a short. So keep it on the watch list. It's trying to play here a bullish divergence with stock basically doing nothing but the oscillator printing a higher lows. So possible bullish divergence here, but once again we need to see it. So gold heading to the watch list and waiting for a move one way or the other. JP Morgan is holding above the 50-day moving average, so keeping the bull case intact while above 98. Breaks below 98, we have $96.95 as the next support. Breaks below, I'll be short. Longs above 105.2 for a move into 108, but once again we need to see it, so having on the watch list. Another one that I had to the watch list is Mondelez. Why? bullish options activity was the first trigger, and this chart is also showing some relative strength. Is holding above the 8 and 21 day moving average, and bulls are active here buying the pullbacks. So what we need a move above 58. That will trigger the longs, in my opinion. Above 58 we can go all the way into the $60. Bear case needs below 56, breaks below 56, bad things can happen. So keep it on your watch. Moderna also had this stock to the watch list. Tried to bounce and printing a bullish divergence versus last week lows. We see that price is fading, but the oscillator is actually going up. But we are still below the 8 and 21. So what I'm looking for the next couple of sessions, 54 is my line in the sand. Breaks below 54, can go all the way into $44 area, so big breakdown. But if the price goes above $60, okay, above $60, we can have a bounce into $64 and $70 area. So keeping this stock on the watch. If it breaks above 60, this is a momentum stock, okay? It also depends on news that we are going to hear from the COVID vaccine. But right now, trying to play here it's possible. We need price to break above $60 to go into the 64, and above 64 to go into the 70. Bull case needs above 70 to resume back into the 80. So lots of room here, but once again we need to see it. A stock that I had to the watch list because saw some bullish options activity, also the chart playing very nicely on the short term, is Race Ferrari that saw a pullback into the 50-day moving average. The oscillator coming in from oversold conditions and giving a bull cross here, and what I'll be looking above $192.2, $192, looking for possible upside all the way into $199 to $200. So keep it on your watch. Another name that I have on the watch list is Tesla. Tesla that last week bounce from the 50-day moving average, so it's above the 50-day moving average, but is holding below the 8 and 21. Looking for a possible move one way or the other. Bull case needs above $400. Bear case needs below $330 to fill this gap here all the way into 275. So anything can happen. We had the bounce, we can have a pullback into the 50-day moving average, and from there we will reevaluate. So keep it on your watch. Another name that I had on watch last week, it worked very, very well. It was Workhorse. Very beautiful browns from the $70 area. I had the target for the end of the year and going to next year, $25. It's very near, gone all the way to 24. Looking for a possible. On Friday they tried to buy the dip and reverse it back up. Let's see if it's able to regain above 24 and hit $25 target. It's very difficult to chase here, but if you are long, keep raising your stops and holding the stock while the momentum lasts. Bear case breaks below 21, then the momentum will be lost and it will be back below $20 in my opinion. Another one that I had to the watch list is Walmart. Why? The stock pullback had a big break higher going into the September, and the stock pullback, and it's pausing right where it should at my support line. So what I want to see next, if it's able to regain the momentum. Regain the momentum needs above $140. Goes above 140, can give 1 to 3 days bounce up in the next couple of sessions. So also keeping on my watch list. Besides that, what I have on the watch list, I have SQQ, I have UVXY, I have VXX. Those are volatility names that can give an edge. We are going to the Fed week. We are going to hear from Fed on Wednesday. So anything can happen with the Fed. And I like to be protected. So I have always on my watch list VXX, SQQQ, UVXY. If markets fades, I'll be looking for some of those names. But once again, those are to generate cash flow intraday. Those are for the short term. As the long term, the trend usually on the volatility names is lower. So this is not an investment. This is to generate cash flow on the short term to protect against some possible downside on the market. We are seeing that the markets are trying to hold the 50-day moving average SPY, trying to hold the 50-day moving average, but is below the 8 and 21. Bull case scenario needs above 342.7, bears needs below $330. So right now we are on a big fight between, on the short term we are bearish, okay, while we are below the 8 and 21, but the mid long term traders are buying the dip against the 50-day moving average. So what I want to see, if the 50-day moving average breaks down, we'll be looking for volatility to pop, we'll be looking for volatility names, and we will be looking for further correction on the markets. But if the bulls regain and if the deep buyers push price above the 8 and 21, and for example on SPY push price above 342.7, then we can have a big short squeeze with shorts being forced to cover the positions and push the market higher. So we started the week with a bull case scenario while above the with a big gap up on the green, but price needs to hold. I usually don't like gap ups, so I prefer to wait. Staying on cash is also a position here, waiting for a resolution one way or the other. So be careful, play safe, manage your risk wisely. We are going to hear from Fed on Wednesday. That can be a game changer. So until then, try to generate some cash flow intraday, but I'm staying cash overnight and being very careful to catch the knife here, okay? Let's wait for price to tell us what the hell is going to happen next. Wish you all great trading, great week, and one of the most important things of all, be happy trading. Thanks everyone, bye bye, see you.